Hello and thanks for joining us. Earlier today, the solemn lying-in-state ceremony for the late Right Honourable Sir Julius Chan at the Grand Hall of the National Parliament concluded as members of Parliament, dignitaries and the public paid their final respects. The atmosphere was filled with reflection on his monumental contributions to the nation. The casket left the National Parliament precincts and arrived at the APEC Port Moresby VIP terminal. In just a short while, Sir Julius' casket will begin its journey to TVWAN New Island province, where he will be laid to rest with families, dignitaries and military personnel gathered to pay their final respects before Sir Julius' journey home. Our reporter Mary Sela-Kellerton is on the ground to give us an update on the final steps of this momentous occasion taking place. Over to you, Mary.
Thank you, Carol. We're at the APEC VIP terminal. We're here to witness and bring to you the live coverage of the departure of the casket of Sir late Julius Chan. Now, the casket has already been put into the Royal Australian Air Force plane to be brought back home to New Island province. There are 3 chartered flights today for family, dignitaries and close relatives. The flights are on Tropic Air, New Guinea and PNG Air. They'll be taking families home today to TVWAN for the next part of the program. That's the provincial part of the program, where the national government will then hand over the casket of Sir Julius to his people. Likely there is going to be a washdown of the Royal Australian Air Force plane. A show of respect, most common in the aviation industry. This morning there was a lying-in-state at the Grand Hall of the National Parliament House. That concluded. That's when the casket of Sir late Julius Chan was transported here to the APEC VIP terminal. Just a recap of the activities that have been conducted since the passing. News of the passing of late Sir Julius Chan on Thursday last week. It was not only 4 days ago that news of the passing of the country's second Prime Minister and one of the nation's founding fathers was confirmed. Sir Julius passed on at his home in Manmantinut, Julius, around midday on Thursday. Now, it was on Friday that the casket of late Sir Julius was transported to TVWAN Airport for repatriation to Port Moresby. close friends now making their way to the plane to For viewers who are watching, there's going to be a little movement as we move a little up to where we're supposed to be.
The last man standing, said Julius Chan, passed away peacefully in his home village of Manmantinut, Uris in the Namatanai district of New Ireland province, surrounded by his family and friends. The Chan family, in a brief statement, thanked those who have stood by said Julius and said his legacy throughout his political life from pre-independence to the time of his passing. Said Julius Chan was born on April 17, 1939 in the New Ireland province. He dedicated his life to public service, becoming one of the first Papua New Guineans to make a significant impact on the nation's political framework after gaining independence in 1975. Throughout his career, Sir Julius was known for his dedication to economic development, education, and infrastructure improvement. His leadership style was marked by his vision for a prosperous Papua New Guinea and a commitment to empowering its citizens. Prime Minister James Marape, when announcing Sir Julius's death, described him as a true visionary with his focus always on the people of Papua New Guinea. He believed in the potential of our nation and worked tirelessly to uplift our communities.
For me and Rachel, we were privileged to have sat with him in my first 5 years as a journeyman into politics. I was under the words of People's Progress Party. He endorsed me in 2002 for Tari. He endorsed me in 2003 with the Honorable Dr. Alan Marat for Tari again. I have a lot of fond memories of him. My affinity to him is much deeper than most think of. I know three of his sons at a personal level. One is a close friend. And so I also share in the loss very, very deeply. I never knew. Yesterday in cabinet, I talked about Somalia and was emotional. And today we're losing the last man standing. And it's a reflection for all of us as leaders. We're surely in moment of transition. It is now our time to rise up, leave personal interests, leave bickerings, petty politics aside. Let's rise up, put the country first, and lift it up, progress our country in honor of these great men who are passing by us. He remains the last man standing. He's passed. I want to ask to honor him properly in being good stewards of our people's leadership mandate conferred on us.
During his time as Prime Minister, Sir Julius faced numerous challenges, including political unrest and economic difficulties. However, the late Sir Julius stood the test of time and remained active in his political duties until his passing. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
Thanks for staying with us. TVWAN is bringing to you the live broadcast of the departure of the casket of late Sir Julius Chen at the APEC VIP terminal in Port Moresby. The casket of Sir Julius has been put into the Royal Australian Air Force plane provided by the Australian government. The immediate family, friends, close associates, VIPs and members of parliament and security personnel who are traveling to KVN to lay the late Sir Julius to rest at his home have already boarded the chartered flights to take Sir Julius home. Now, the National Airports Corporation is preparing to honor Sir Julius with a traditional washdown of the airplane. They're preparing to do that. So you will witness in a few minutes that tradition. It's a show of respect in the aviation industry. Continue bringing you a rundown of the events that have occurred since the official confirmation of the passing of late Sir Julius. On Friday, the casket of Sir Julius was transported to Paving Airport for repatriation to Port Moresby. On Saturday, the New Ireland community in Port Moresby hosted a farewell program for their governor, who served the province since elected in 2007. The casket of Sir Julius has spent 3 days in Port Moresby. Today, the casket will be transported back to his home province of New Ireland. Yesterday, a state funeral for late Sir Julius was held at the St. Mary's Cathedral in downtown Port Moresby. This program then followed a National House Cry program in the evening. The program was aimed to pay tribute to Sir Julius. Members of Parliament, both opposition and government, and close associates paid their tributes. Prime Minister James Marape delivered the program's keynote address. The son of late Sir Julius, Byron Chan, also spoke on behalf of their family. The Australian Air Force plane has turned on its engines, and if you can hear the very loud noise behind me, that's because of all the planes that are getting ready to take off. Now, Sir Julius is survived by his wife, Lady Stella, and 4 children, Vanessa Chan Calgan, Byron James, Mark Gavin, and Toya Julius. Now, I believe the New Ireland province government has shared updates on their online page, and they have updated that the province is prepared to embrace the final homecoming of their leader today. Starting today, they have a 4-day funeral program and burial program in which they will pay respect to their late governor. Despite the national government wanting to fully give to Sir J the respect and honor he deserves as a serving national member of parliament, Prime Minister James Marape said having initial plans to have a state tribute in parliament, aligning with the 7-day notice requirement for a parliamentary recall. This will not happen, as Sir Julius' family was firm in honoring his will. Now, over the course of the 3-day program in Port Moresby, many of the tributes paid to Sir Julius honored him and highlighted how very time conscious he was. So he was a man of time, and thus his family and the government would like to honor that very respectable trait. Now, Sir Julius in his will wanted to be buried within 7 days in Julius, his home village in Namatanai, New Ireland province. In his will, he designated 3 days for the national government, 3 days for the province, and the 7th day for his burial. That is this Thursday. Prime Minister Marape said in light of this wish, which was explicit and clear, as stated in his will, the government had to let go of the intention to have a grand farewell. However, Parliament will instead contribution, to Sir Julius' lifetime of service. The Australian Air Force plane that is repatriating the casket of Sir Julius is on the move. It's making its way down the runway towards the fire trucks, where it will be given a washdown. The plane that is carrying the casket of late Sir Julius Chan is the Royal Australian Air Force C-27J, an aircraft that's provided as part of the Defence Pacific Air Program. The aircraft will transport Sir Julius' casket as well as members of his family and members of the Papua New Guinea Defence Force, who will provide a ceremonial detail during Sir Julius' final journey. Now, the Australian government, they're giving the washdown. The plane is going through a washdown now, as you can see. The Australian government has stated that it is proud to work with the PNGDF to honour the final wishes of Sir Julius in acknowledgement of his legacy as one of PNG's most respected leaders. Sir Julius will be taken home in this Australian aircraft to his final resting place in New Ireland province, I believe his village of Julius. On that Australian aircraft is members of his family as well. Other members of the family, extended family and close relatives are on 3 other chartered flights who will also be making the trip to TVWAN today. I believe the Prime Minister will also be joining them. The last man standing will soon leave Port Moresby for the very last time on an aircraft provided by the Australians in great respect to the life and legacy and the contributions of Sir Julius to not only Papua New Guinea but the politics of the wider Pacific and international community. Papua New Guineans call Sir Julius the last man standing, as he was the last of the founding members of Parliament from the independence era. Now, the political career of Sir Julius spans 5 decades. It is as long as the country has been independent. Sir Julius, through tributes, yesterday and the day before on Saturday, was shared that he was a man who made bold decisions that sparked both admiration and also outrage. One of these decisions was when he deployed the PNG Defense Force to Vanuatu in 1980 to suppress rebellion against Vanuatu's newly independent government. Now, we had 4 representatives from Vanuatu at the National House Cry program yesterday evening who thanked Sir Julius for his contribution when they paid tribute. Now, the aircrafts are taxiing down the runway. In just a few moments, our viewers, TVWAN, the country will witness Sir Julius leaving Port Moresby for the very last time. Sir Julius was governor of New Ireland province since 2007. And in his capacity as governor, has been a strong voice for provincial autonomy, especially for New Ireland, and ensuring that his time in office was spent making continuous efforts to ensure that the province was ready to take over most of the functions that are now still handled by the national government. Back in 2018, when then Prime Minister Peter O'Neill announced that 3 provinces were to be granted autonomous status. These provinces were Enga, East New Britain, and New Ireland. Now, Sir Julius, at the time, we have the Australian aircraft now taxiing down the runway. Papua New Guinea, you now see one of the founding fathers and Papua New Guinea's second Prime Minister leaving Port Moresby for the very last time. Such a heavy moment for all of us who get to witness this historical day. We bid Sir Julius farewell and may he rest in peace. Thank you for staying with us. Sir Julius has departed. The casket of Sir Julius has departed Port Moresby on a Royal Australian aircraft for his home in Peving, New Ireland province. Thank you for joining us in this live broadcast, and TV1 will be providing updates on the provincial program that will be taking place over the course of the next few days until the burial on a Thursday.
Thank you, Mary Sheila Kelton, for that live update from the APEC Port Moresby VIP terminal. A truly poignant moment as the late Right Honourable Sir Julius Chan embarks on his final journey home to New Ireland. As the nation continues to honour his legacy, we remember his unwavering dedication to Papua New Guinea and the immense impact he made on the country. That concludes our coverage of today's events. Stay tuned for more updates to come from all of us here at the newsroom. Thank you for joining us, and we send our deepest condolences to Sir Julius's family and the people of Papua New Guinea.